Now, if you're watching this, that means it's official. The TikTok ban has finally come down. Wow, crazy that a social media app is what finally gave something for both sides to agree on, right? Now, by the time this uploads, things might still be in a weird place. Recently, Biden, before he left, said that he's not gonna enforce the ban on January 19th, but I mean, that gives one day, but he says he's leaving it up to the Trump administration. And Trump's been talking about saying that we should find a way for TikTok to stick around. So who really knows if this means that it's gone for good? The fact of the matter is, though, that a lot of people are scared. A lot of people are wondering what's next. And obviously for content creators, most people are just saying you should have been porting people over to other platforms. And if you haven't, you'll be moving to other platforms, post your content that you would normally post on TikTok there, and continue to grow your audience and find your audience that you had on TikTok. That of course doesn't take into account things like small business owners or restaurants, like what Keith Lee was helping, that use TikTok as their marketing platform. These people aren't content creators, they aren't social media influencers, so that's an entirely other market that's been affected, that it's not as easy as just post what you do on YouTube and you'll be fine and port your audience over. It's not necessarily utilized the same. But for my content creators out there, I think there is going to be a wave that you should be aware of as people migrate. It's the same thing as when Vine shut down and people were posting on YouTube because Vine wasn't paying. And people are going to flock to do YouTube Shorts and Instagram Reels. People will be there are other platforms out there that you can use, but just know that with that will come a few things that I've already been starting to notice. Number one, I think advice on how to port over your audience, how to now grow on YouTube if you're coming from TikTok, how to grow on Instagram if you're coming from TikTok, those are going to spike up. I've been seeing it already, and I'm working on a video to address how much of that advice could be a problem, especially with the sentiment that YouTube is on easy mode in 2025. Look, I know this is not a huge channel, but I have been doing YouTube for over 4.5 years now. I actually started with making YouTube videos in the pandemic. I actually didn't start over on TikTok, although that is where I personally found a lot of success, like many other people. But I think that there's a lot of issues with the sentiment that YouTube and content creation is on easy mode. If anything, I think that there will be much more hurdles that people aren't used to coming over from TikTok. So that's kind of a twofold one. Obviously, people are gonna be migrating to the other apps. There's gonna be a large spike of people giving advice to those folks who are migrating over to other apps. Obviously, going back to what I was saying about the small businesses, there will be a lot of shifts in people's income. People who have been using TikTok as a marketing tool for other ventures like their comedy shows or for their sewing business. I even recently saw on TikTok how someone blew up was through making nerdy mugs, and that is going to be a huge thing that they have to figure out if they can make it work through Instagram or YouTube, which operate very differently, not in just algorithms, but also community-wise. But with that, I think that we'll also see a lot of, obviously, brand ad spend over in America. Possibly they will have to reevaluate. I'd already seen posts recently where people have said they've had contracts that have been lost. I mean, I'm talking thousands of dollars because they had deals specific to TikTok that involved TikTok ad spend and whitelisting. And of course, there's the option to bring that over and renegotiate to some kind of other deal. There's another page out there, I think it's like Sean SVV, I hope that's him on other platforms as well, who talked about different clauses that you could have been making sure to put into your contracts if TikTok was involved with them, as far as negotiation in the event that it's impossible for you to post your content through means outside of your control, which the ban constitutes under. But yeah, with the hope of obviously people not being able to do their sponsorships and their UGC and their ads over on TikTok, I do hope that that means that corporations in America are going to be shifting those budgets to hopefully accommodate so that creators can still find a place to make money. But with that is the next thing, and that is we'll see a lot of people who come over to YouTube and the style of content they find coming over from TikTok is going to work and they're going to blow up. We're gonna see some of them go over to Instagram and they're going to blow up, but those will be exceptions, not the rules. Because for every person that you see blow up, trust me when I say there are tens, if not hundreds, who are posting a video every day, posting multiple videos a day in short form or a long form video a day or at least once a week, who are still trying to find a way to make it work. And I'm speaking from experience. If you have found me and you've seen me before, I made a presence on TikTok, what felt like a larger presence back in 2020, 2021, but obviously by 2024 was not as big, an account of about 40K. And I found success in making skits that was very separate from the content I had started over here on YouTube. And it's something that I've not really been able to necessarily port over and just replicate like many others have. And there will be people like that in the coming months. And some of them will continue to push forward and have a YouTube channel with less than 1,000 subscribers for nearly 5 years. And then some of them will quit. There were a lot of people who I actually saw talking about, possibly quitting, even though they had relative audiences. They didn't find the success in porting over or really get like their communities that they felt like they were a part of on TikTok to come over. I am one of those people. I remember even when they first started talking about the TikTok ban and I was at 25, maybe 30K on TikTok, I was trying to get people to go over to Instagram. But sadly, I was never able to get one of those hit videos to happen at the same time that I was trying to port people over. Obviously, you always hear, I don't feel like it's much on YouTube. People put links into the descriptions that go other places all the time. But when it comes to TikTok and Instagram, when you mention the other applications and sometimes even put things in the caption, you can have your video completely tanked. But I've seen some creators who made it work. One of the greatest examples was Tony Stadavici. When he kind of first came over to Instagram, he would have, throw in every couple of weeks a little promo to his Instagram and his captions have check him out on IG. And because it was at a time that he had videos doing extremely well, there was able to be some conversion. But again, that is an exception, not a rule. Many people, I can go and show you many posts where I would have a video blow up and I would say, okay, maybe a lot of people are watching. And then I would try to kind of semi-promote or even like sneakily promote my IG and it just wouldn't happen. I mean, I had a plan in 2023 to try for that whole year to get people, to get just even 10% of my audience on TikTok to come over to IG, and it didn't pan out. And that's because sometimes you have to meet a viewer where they are, and a lot of new creators are going to have to figure that out as they come over to YouTube. And the final thing that I'll leave you with is that this might not be it for TikTok. If Trump is really serious about wanting to save TikTok in some way, I don't think TikTok's gonna sell, but people think if a deal is brokered, the only problem is the company has said that they won't include the algorithm with it. So even if an American company purchases TikTok, TikTok still goes dark until they can do the hiring and just build that back up, build some semblance of that algorithm back, or possibly build something entirely new. But until we know more about that, TikTok has stated that they plan to, once the ban is in place, to have people in America who visit the site and visit the app to be redirected to a page explaining to them that the app is banned and that you cannot access it. That is really where we're at. So really, regardless, we have a dark period for the app, whether it comes back either owned the American sector by a US company or through some type of delay or resolution found between the American government and TikTok and ByteDance. I don't think we'll ever see the app really be the same. If it goes away and comes back, people will just be like, I can't take any of this seriously anymore. And to a degree, people feel that way anyway. And if it fully goes away, I feel like people are definitely chasing somewhere to be, but won't ever be able to make it what TikTok is. I know everyone has been going over to Red Note, but it's like, are you really gonna go over to Red Note and post what you would have posted on TikTok? Probably not. They don't even have the same rules and regulations. So that is the state of things. I will probably be discussing a little bit more on this because, again, as someone who's just been in this space for a long time and I observe a lot of things, I've just wanted to express where things are going and how I'm really feeling about it. If you found me through this video, please be sure to like, comment down below, or if you know me from finding me on Instagram or TikTok, let me know. Hashtag TikTok's gone. RIP TikTok. Hashtag RIP TikTok in the comments if you found me from TikTok. Subscribe to the channel. I'm going to be doing more videos like this, just talking about the landscape and where I'm at as a creative. I've been doing 3 videos a day in short form content that some people might find this channel by. And if you have found me through that, thank you. I hope that you enjoy the content that will be here going forward. This would be what I would consider my main YouTube page. This is the page that started my journey as a content creator. No, that was a little longer than I expected. If you stuck around this long, I appreciate you, and I will catch you in my next video. Peace out.